What's up, y'all? Welcome back. If you're new here, welcome to another video. It is time to reassemble the motor. All right, we got a bunch of parts laid out here, all kinds of new stuff, oil pans, front cases, oil baffle. I'll get to that in a second. Knickknacks and hardware, just a lot going on here. So yeah, this piece, I was getting everything together to come out here, and I picked up this oil baffle that I ordered a long time ago, and it was starting to get some surface rust on it. I talked to some people and asked them about it and asked them if it was good to like clean up, if I could scuff it, like however I could get this rust off of here. And there's nothing like flaking off really, which is what they were like talking about. Like as long as there's nothing like coming off of it to like get into the oil and everything, it should be fine. But to be honest, I didn't want to mess with it. I didn't want to mess around with sanding it. I didn't want to do all this stuff to it. And so that goes here. And we ordered a Tomei oil slicing baffle, and so this thing should be very, very nice. Now, does the car need it? Probably not. Will it hurt it? No. I guess first things first, let's get to putting together this front case. I gotta put this balance shaft delete kit in there. There we are, there's the washer, balance shaft delete, and yeah, let's go install this stuff onto the front case. I'm gonna lay down a little mat here, get some paper towels. Got that down. This won't like slide around on the table quite as much, I don't think. Hope not anyway. And voila. First things first, I need to remove this seal right here on this section, and I'll need to put this little plug in its place. Huzzah! That's out. Now we just have to tap in this little plug. Okay, that went in easy peasy. All right, I'm gonna put this little stubby shaft in. It's got a flat spot right here, and there's a little like notch inside of there, and it should just slide right in there from what I am aware of. And then that there, you can flip it over, and then we will reinstall this bolt right here, which is a new one that we have going in, and that'll go on right there. And then we'll torque that down. Okay, got my little chart pinned up here for my torque values and all that stuff, and apparently this bolt here goes to 27 foot-pounds. So we're gonna go ahead and torque that down. Clamp that down right there, and then we can go 27 foot-pounds. Boink. I want to put a little mark of blue paint on that so I know it's complete. I'm about to cover it up with the castle nut, but peace of mind. Boop. Okay. Voila. And now, yield castle nut. I'm just going to get it as tight as I can, and we can go from there. Use a little screwdriver to help like push it along, and just go from there. Okay, I can't get that to move anymore, so I don't see that coming loose, so we're good. Okay, got all that put on there. I just got off the phone with STM because I ordered their front case bolt kit, and they have it kind of color coded on the site in an image, but they don't have the bolts color coded. So I just wanted to make 100% sure as to what I was putting in there. So called them, got all that lined out and sorted out. All right, let's get this thing unwrapped here, at least on the front portion. All right, I'm gonna pull this back like that. And then let me grab some brake cleaner and clean up this gasket face here. I've been waiting so long to get this thing back together and stuff, and it's like, I think just the excitement and everything, I'm just going through. I'm in a glass case of emotions, okay?
I'm in a glass case of emotion!
Now, on goes said gasket. Right like such. Now, let's go grab the case, put it on there. Front case is sitting on there. I'm just looking around, make sure the seal, it kind of folded up there a little bit. So I'm just trying to make sure that it is actually on there the way it's supposed to be. Seems to be. Kind of unfolded it there, so it's all good now. Looks like it's got a nice little seal around there, so all righty. Let's bolt you down. All right, apparently these go to 165 pounds. So we got our little thing here set up to inch pounds, so let's give her a go. Alrighty, I'm gonna go get my little blue marker. I'm gonna go back over all those, make sure it's all correct, and then I'll mark them with the blue marker, and we are dunskies. Okay, got all those bolts tightened down, blue marked, good to go. Now we're gonna put in the little bolt that goes right there. This one here apparently needs a little bit of gasket maker. There was some on the back of it. I already scraped it off and cleaned it off, but apparently this will leak if it does not have that in there, and you'll get oil on your timing components, etc., etc. And we definitely don't want that. So let's give her a little bit of a... Let that sit for just a second, let it kind of harden up a little bit, and then we will tighten that down to the same torque value as the other ones. I actually went back and looked at my paper, and it was a little bit higher on the torque on those. It was about 170. So I went back and redid all those. But yeah, now I guess we can turn this thing over. The oil filter housing will be here tomorrow. I just tracked that. We sent that off. That'll be here tomorrow. Can put that on then. So let's just turn this thing over now and get on the Tomei. All right, per the instructions, it says to install the light plate, which is this thing. That goes there. Now I've seen photos of this installed and the guys have it on top of the plate, but it said to put this on first, so I'm gonna do that and do it as it says in the instructions. So hopefully that is that is correct. Fit the plate onto there, and then this goes right here. I'm gonna use the bolt they provided to put it in on this side. Like that. And then we have 4 brand new OEM oil plate bolts. Per the Tomei instructions, they say to tighten them down to 22 Newton meters. For the left plate supplied bolt, use 9 Newton meters. Gotcha. 9 Newton meters, 22 newts. We're good. Okay, got the Tomei slicer installed. Everything has been blued, everything's good to go. Solid, now we gotta do the strainer. So the Tomei instructions said to use the gasket they provided, which I'm just assuming that's because they're assuming that you took off what was on here and you needed to replace it. So I have a new OEM gasket, so that's what we're gonna be using. All right, hand tight. Now we snug those down to 14 foot-pounds or 19 newties. Boom. Next up, I want to install the oil pan. I really, really want to, but I'm worried that the oil filter housing will be part of the gasket surface there where it like comes across and around. Let me set it on there and see. I don't think it'll hurt anything. I need to try to find a picture of one that's mounted onto a car already and see what I can figure out there, but I think I can mount this oil pan up and not have this on there. I'm gonna do some research real quick and see what I can find out. Okay, so it's the next day and we got the oil filter housing, and to be honest, I'm pretty disappointed. I mean, I guess the service that I paid for was for the internal of the filter housing cleaning and not the external, and it still looks like complete shit. And I just, this thing looking like this, I definitely don't want to accept that and just put it onto the car. And so I'm gonna work on scuffing this thing up, cleaning it up, But first, I want to take this thing out that we have it here. I want to take it over, put it on the block, see if it will mess with how the oil pan seals and all that. And if it doesn't hurt anything, I'm gonna put the pan on there and then we'll put this on later. I hate that I waited just for this thing to get here, and now it looks like this and we gotta do something else to it, but I'd rather take the time, clean it, do what I gotta do to it, as opposed to just putting it on there because we've obviously gone this far. I don't want to put this thing on there looking like this. So yeah, let's take it over to the block and see what it might hurt, and if nothing, then we'll put the pan on. All right, so this thing mounts right like this, and to me, that looks like nothing about the pan would touch that or get on that or involve that to seal on the block. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the pan on and call that good and turn this motor right side up and carry on. Okay, so the oil pan. Per the instructions, I'm gonna follow this little guide here that shows where to put the bead around the oil pan and these little grooves right here. Not sure if you can see them. Yeah, you can. Right there, those little grooves. We'll put it around all of that, and then I'm gonna put some on the block as well because I've seen a lot of people do that. And so I figure, you know, on the oil pan, you definitely don't want any leaks out of the bottom of there. So a little more RTV here won't be too terrible. So let's run us a bead around this thing and we'll put it on the block and we'll set the oil pan on. Okay, we got all of these brand new STM oil pan bolts snug down. Now, let's get it to, they go to 80 inch-pounds. So let's turn this puppy on, and here we go. Okay, so every bolt on the oil pan is now torqued down to 80 inch-pounds per the spec sheet. So I'm gonna call this thing good. My oh my, here we are. Unboxing the head. It's been sitting in the house for, well, not nearly as long as all the other parts, but been in there long enough. Ye flippin' haw. Okay, next up, I do believe we are gonna go ahead and install the head. I'm excited. I don't wanna wait any longer, and so we're gonna go ahead and get this thing unwrapped, and then we'll clean everything on the surfaces. We'll put the head gasket on, and then we will put the head onto the motor, and we will see the motor put together. All right, so the head gasket is on there, seems to be on the right way. Everything is open, nothing seems to be closed off, all of that good stuff. And so I am going to call that good. So now we can unwrap the head and put that thing on here. Oh, that's a good sight to see, I gotta say. It's a little bit nerve-wracking, honestly. Like, maybe if I'd done this more times, it might not be, but it's definitely a little bit nerve-wracking. But man, this looks so good right now. I got these fancy little block-off plates from STM to block off everything that we're working on here for now, because I'm not gonna put on the exhaust manifold and all that stuff just yet. And so, yeah, this should be very cool. Next up, let's go ahead and install some brand new ARP Head Studs. There is very clearly a top and very clearly a bottom, and so these just thread in there hand tight, and that shouldn't be too hard. All of the studs are in there finger tight and they have bottomed out, so now we use the nuts and the washers put a little bit of this lube on there, and then we will go through the process of torquing this head down. Lubrication, per the instructions on the stud threads, nuts, and washers. Just went through and took out all those head studs again and redid it because I found it easier to get those washers in there first. Like, take the stud out, put the washer onto the stud, and then drop it in there and let the washer kind of fall first, because some of these springs are really close, and I got one stuck over here and it wouldn't like go all the way down, so I had to take it all back out. But once I saw that one get stuck, I was like, okay, this is gonna go a different way. And so yeah, now we gotta put this grease on these nuts, and then we'll put those onto there and we'll torque it down. Okay, nuts are in there. I'm not sure why that was so stressful, but this is like really stressing me out. I think I'm overthinking it about getting that like assembly lube on other things and things like that. I'm just trying to be like uber cautious, but anyway, super stressed out, but let's go ahead and torque this thing down. We're gonna use this little diagram here to show me the pattern as to how to tighten this down. So here we go. Okay, we did 40, 60, 80 in the correct sequence, so everything is torqued down, everything is good. The head is now on the motor. Whew, that was stressful, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been thinking about that for a long time, about just running it all through my head and everything, but it's a whole different thing when you're actually doing it. But yeah, that was stressful, but we got it. The head is on there and it looks great. Everything's coming together, and I'm just super excited. So I think this is a good place to stop right here. And so next time we can do the timing components, and we can just get more things onto the motor and just continue to get it back together and back into the car at some point. So yeah, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it very much. As always, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about the process, the progress, and if you have any questions, drop those down there as well. Be glad to help much as I can, chat, whatever. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.